Hello everyone, and welcome to my first ever devlog for my ARPG, Noslrac. So, you ever look up on YouTube, watch some devlogs, and are bombarded by videos titled, "Today I'm gonna make my dream game," or "Making my dream RPG," or insert random genre there, And then you start watching the video series, and then you realize that it's been 10 months since their last video, and then you're checking, and you see the dreaded video, "I quit my dream game." Yeah. Which then goes on to explain for about 20 minutes or so about scope creep. Oh, I should have done this, should have done that better. Well, today I'm going to do just that. Except I'm not making my dream game.
I'll have a Krabby Patty.
How original.
And with extra onions.
Daring today, aren't we?
Well, let me back up. I've been working on this game for quite a while now, and I've decided to dabble a little bit in the world of making devlogs to show you guys a little bit about my game. Now, to start off here is a little information about my game. I'm currently working on and developing a game called Noslrac, which is a 2D dungeon crawler ARPG featuring 4 distinct classes, each with unique playstyles and skill trees. The game includes a combat style more similar to an MMO game than an ARPG, in the sense that you use a cohesive rotation and tab targeting combat rather than the mouse destroying clickfest. As I said earlier, Noslrac has 4 unique and distinct classes. The first class is the cleric, which uses holy spells to attack. They can wear medium armor and they typically have a lot of health. The cleric casts holy spells in order to generate vigor, which can then be used to cast their most powerful spells. The main feature of this class is they are able to generate absorption shields. And absorption shields basically just like an extra health pool that has to be damaged first before the enemy can attack their actual health. And this allows them to make them a little bit more tankier. And whenever an enemy attacks a player with an absorption shield, then that damage is reflected back onto the enemy as well. Since Noslrac features a 100% kind of indicator-based combat system, it is completely possible to avoid all damage. However, with the cleric, you may want to take some damage to reflect it back to enemies and quickly leave danger when your shield wears off. The second class is the wizard class, which uses fire to scorch and burn their enemies. They are like a glass cannon in the sense they wear the weakest armor, but they can also do the most damage, or a lot of damage. And their main concept is raining meteors and fireballs from afar and decimating their enemies. The wizard does not have a main resource, like the cleric, but it is able to rain meteors instantly once they generate combustion charges from inflicting a critical strike or scathing blow. And the wizard can slow their enemies and teleport away to invoke maximum destruction on their enemies. The third class is the champion class, which is a melee class that uses brute force and physical abilities to attack. They also can wear the heaviest armor in the game, which usually has the most armor or the most attack values. The champion has a resource called demolish charges, which is generated whenever they cast certain abilities, and then they can use those charges to cast their main resource spender, which will deal a lot of damage to their target. And the champion also wants to inflict a lot of bleeds on their enemies. That way this increases their damage, but also slowly drains the life of their enemy. Now, the last and final class is the necromancer class, which is a melee class as well, that summons minions to do their bidding for them. Necromancers wear medium armor, and they are able to summon hordes of minions to take down any enemy that comes in their way. They have a main resource called souls, which is granted whenever they kill an enemy, but also when one of their minions expires. Now, the necromancer then uses these souls to summon even more powerful minions, or to explode them, dealing damage to everyone around them. Each and every class in Noslrac is unique and features a cool talent tree which modifies their abilities and adds unique aspects to them. While the player levels, they will get a skill point they can then invest into the skill tree to further their power. Speaking of skills, there are also skills on items. Well, not exactly, but essentially. Items in my game are completely random, which means they have random stats, modifiers, sockets, etc. But the game also has tier sets, which can be kind of complicated when all your items are random. So the way I solve this is you can get a tier token, which is an item which can then convert any item that you're wearing into a tier piece. Now, what is a tier set, you ask? Or didn't? Well, here's one in the game. You can look at it, and I'll just let that explain it for you, since you know a picture's worth 1,000 words. Items also can have effects on them, which are kind of like a mini skill. You can do whatever you want with them, extract them, add them, infuse them, and you can stack these effects onto as many items as you want. While the game only has one skill tree for each class, there is still a lot of build diversity because each class will have 24 tier sets, each including a 2-piece bonus, a 3-piece bonus, and a 4-piece bonus. And there will be about 80 of these mini skills. Now, with all these random items, it can be quite frustrating sometimes to be at the mercy seat of the RNG. Don't fret, you can craft any item you want in the game. To start, you have to gather the required resources for said items and levels, and you can also receive the required ores through salvaging armor. Once you have enough ore, you can craft the item of your dreams. If you want an item that grants 1,000 life after you kill an enemy, well, you can do that. Or, if you want that exact same item to also grant 1,000 bonus gold when you pick up gold, well, you can do that as well. You can craft any piece of armor with any amount of modifiers, sockets, power, etc. The items are your canvas. Once you have an item, you can always reroll its modifiers or increase their power. You're not really just stuck with that item and how it dropped. You can always change modifiers or increase a certain modifier if you want it to be more powerful. You can also add those little skills to the items as well. Honestly, you can tailor your character to how you want to play. The possibilities are endless. Noslrac also features infinite gameplay, or infinite progression in a way. So the game has these little dungeons called onslaughts, which have infinitely scaling difficulty. They are dungeons with some cool modifiers on it to make every run interesting and different. Defeating the onslaught within the time limit will result in you being rewarded handsomely, and will always grant you powerful items. And completing the onslaught in the time limit will also get you a higher level onslaught, which will therefore increase the difficulty of the dungeon and have different modifiers. Currently, this feature isn't completely done yet, and I will be doing an overhaul of it very soon, so stay tuned for more updates on that. But yeah, that's Noslrac and all the features included in it. Well, maybe not all the features, but the big ones. My current plans right now are to release the game around on April 10th of next year, so stay tuned for that. Also, check out Noslrac on Steam and consider adding it to your wishlist. Anything helps. I'll leave the link down in the description so you can check it out. I hope you enjoyed this devlog. I know it was probably trash, but if you could subscribe and leave a like or comment, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys could tell me what I could do better the next time, or if you never want to see me make one of these again, can you please tell me in the comments? All feedback's wanted. Until next time.